What if the best part of someone's life actually begins at the age of 70, while others feel like it's too late? They're only just beginning to truly live. There's a belief most of us carry, often without realizing it, that life has a timeline, that there's a certain age to start, a certain age to succeed, and a certain age where everything is already too late. And slowly, we begin to believe it. We see our 20s as the beginning, our 30s as the time to chase, our 40s as the peak, and after that, a slow decline. But reality doesn't always follow that path. There are people who discover their life in their 60s, 70s, even later. Not just surviving, but growing, becoming more alive, more at peace, more fulfilled. And the question is, why? Why do some people begin to grow when others feel like it's already too late? The answer isn't simple, because this isn't about age, it's about perspective. Many people spend their younger years trying to meet expectations, family expectations, social expectations, cultural expectations. They choose the safe path. They work in places they don't truly enjoy. They live routines that drain them, and they keep telling themselves, later. Later when I have time. Later when things are stable. Later when I'm ready. And without realizing it, that later can last for decades, until one day something shifts. Not because the world changes, but because they do. At that stage in life, they begin to realize something deeply important. Time is not as unlimited as they once thought. And that realization changes everything. Things they used to delay start to feel urgent. Things they used to fear start to feel small. And for the first time, they begin to ask, what do I actually want? A simple question, but one that many people have never truly asked themselves because they've been too busy living for everyone else. And at that point, something shifts. They stop chasing approval. They stop trying to please everyone. They stop being afraid of failure, and they begin to live for themselves. That's where real change begins. Many people believe old age is the end, but for some, it's the beginning of honesty, the beginning of trying new things, the beginning of truly living. Because one major thing changes, fear. When we're younger, we're afraid to fail, afraid to be judged, afraid to make mistakes. But later in life, that fear begins to fade. Not because they suddenly become brave, but because they've already been through so much. They've failed, they've struggled, they've learned, and they realize things are never as bad as they once imagined. And from that realization comes freedom. Freedom to try, freedom to change, freedom to be themselves. And that freedom creates growth. Not growth in age, but growth in meaning, in wisdom, in peace, in clarity. And this is what many people don't understand. We think growth belongs to the young, but growth has no age limit. As long as someone is willing to learn, to change, to try, growth is always possible. Now imagine this. Someone spends decades living a life that was never truly theirs, and at 70, they finally choose to change. Is that too late? Or is that the first time they've truly lived? The answer depends on how we see time. If we see time as a limit, everything feels too late. But if we see time as an opportunity, every moment still matters. And that's the difference between those who stop growing and those who continue. It's not about age, it's about perspective. Those who believe it's too late stop. Those who believe there's still time begin. And often, the biggest changes happen when someone stops waiting for the right time and simply starts right now, no matter their age. Because in the end, Life is not about how early you begin. It's about when you finally choose to live. And for some people, that moment comes at 70, not because they're late, but because they finally stop waiting. And from that moment, their life truly begins. So, if there's something you still want to do, something you still want to change, then it's not too late. It's never too late, as long as you're willing to begin. Because the best time to change is not yesterday, not tomorrow, but now. And maybe this is the beginning of your real life.